the field
No, but you're used to being
Welcome
there.
to Northdale Middle School Pool for CTN's live coverage of boys high school swimming. It's the battle between the pool mates, the Blaine Bengals and the Coon Rapids Cardinals. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro up above the action as always. And Howie, a team in Coon Rapids that is learning. They're growing. They've got some very impressive young talent that is making strides. Blaine, a little more established program, is coming in on a win streak and trying to do their best to make sure they maintain top billing on the pool.
No question about it. And, you know, I'm excited to see some of these young Cardinal swimmers. We talk about them all the time on Sports Night. Not, you know, we see them on video, but now we're able to see them in person. So it should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Some of the young swimmers who will be around this program for a number of years.
Bengals will be swimming in the even-numbered lanes. The Cardinals in the odd. We start with the 200 free relay. Lanes 1 to 8 from bottom to top of your screen.
Well, you know, certainly the Cardinals come in here, just the guys are just looking to continue to increase their times as the season goes along. And, you know, against Blaine, an opportunity to, with a good opponent, to try and get a good opportunity to get a good match in.
Closest to the camera will be Jamil Poindexter, Koa Hoon, Jacob Wilson, and Jake Bushinger for the Bengals. Kyle Emmons will start in the water in lane 3 for the Cardinals. Brandon Wilson, Miles Pluger, and Kevin Struess, his teammates behind him. Lane 4, Blaine has Darren Cronin, Max Carson, Casey Fortman, and Logan Vagel. And in lane 5, Coon Rapids led off by the 8th grader Matthew Struess, as Tyler Schultz, the 7th grader, right behind him, Matthew Sambasilip, and Timothy Plessel. In your top lanes, Blaine in lane 6, Jack Barr, Alex Totev, Wyatt Brenny, and Reese Wilson. Coon Rapids up in the very top has Bradley Liminen, Nathan Hansen, Ethan Warmack, and Taylor Miller.
Well, you look at the youth on both these teams, but look at Blaine in lane 6, all freshmen in this event.
Darren Cronin and Matthew Struess real tight through the backstroke portion. And again, that's Struess, an 8th grader, against Blaine's junior. But stretching the lead for Blaine in those middle lanes is senior Max Carson. And Tyler Schultz, the impressive 7th grader, just trying to keep that gap close, maintaining a good edge against the team above him. Alex Totev right on his heels in 3rd place.
Yeah, no question about it, and the Cardinals will want to keep that pace up. See what they can do about getting a nice finish here.
Casey Fortman, a nice solid lead for Blaine in lane 4. And the battle now for 2nd and 3rd place as Wyatt Brenny overtakes Sambasilip before that first turn. Sambasilip just trying to gain ground, get back to Plessel for hopefully a strong finish.
Well, he's getting there close. He's trying to, as you mentioned, just trying to keep that edge a little bit.
Vagel with a lead into the water for the freestyle, and now stretching it out in lane 6 is Reese Wilson. Plessel would have a hard push to try and close that gap coming to the final wall, and Blaine's going to finish 1-2. Tagging up first is Vagel and then Wilson. And Plessel will come in a 3rd place finish for the Cardinals in the 200 medley relay.
Yeah, and the Cardinals had an opportunity early on in that event to try and get that 2nd place, but give credit to the Blaine swimmers for overtaking that lead. And as you said, Blaine finishing 1st and 3rd. I mean, first and second. Sorry.
We will take a break. We will come back with the 200 free right after this.
brushy brush, brushy brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Reach out, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Dale Middle School pool, Blaine a 1-2 finish in the 200 medley relay gives him the early 12-2 lead. And now we get set for the 200 free. For the Bengals from, wait till the start. All right, for the Bengals from top of your screen to bottom, Logan Vagel up at the top in lane 8, Jack Barr in lane 6, Jack Bushinger in lane 4, and Max Gudmundsson in lane 2. For the Cardinals, Brandon Wilson is up in lane 7, Patrick Schultz in the middle in lane 5, and Timothy Plessel is in lane 3.
And you saw the score. Blaine, after that first event, jumped off to a 12-2 lead.
Well, and right away after the first 50, you've got 4 Blaine swimmers all touching the wall relatively close to one another. And Patrick Schultz just trying to keep pace about a half body length behind all 4 of them. The 2 other Cardinals trailing by a couple of lengths, already about 10 meters.
Now, we talked to Coach Johnson before, and he mentioned what a good team that Blaine has this season. Pretty quality swimmers in the pool, and he was looking forward to seeing what his guys could do against this team.
Right now, you got Max Gudmundsson down at the bottom of the screen in lane 2. That is in the lead. And he's starting to stretch it a little bit after 125, but up in lane 6, Jack Barr is right with him. Barr just a freshman. And they're going to be very close going into the last 50. Slightly behind in third place is Jack Bushinger. And now a battle for 4th and 5th between Patrick Schultz and up top, Blaine's Logan Vagel.
Yeah, these 3 Blaine swimmers who are, in the 1st through 3rd place, very strong, pacing each other.
Jack Barr looks like he might be able to take away with it too up in lane 6.
I think he's going to.
He is going to get to the wall first. No, Gudmundsson did get first. Yeah. Bushinger will finish 3rd. And Plessel will get to the wall, or Schultz rather, will get to the wall in 4th. But a 1-2-3 finish for the Blaine Bengals and establishing a solid lead early on. We will take a break. Up next, 200 IM. You're watching live boys high school swimming on CTN.
The Coon Rapids Recycling Center can help you recycle all of your old appliances and electronics. From your old refrigerator to washers and dryers, we can help you recycle your appliances and keep them out of the waste stream, which is required by state law. When it comes to electronics, some fees may apply. Check our website for more details. The Coon Rapids Recycling Center, helping you recycle even more.
Back at Northdale Middle School, about ready to get the 200 IM underway. Blaine will put Alex Totev, Darren Cronin, Hunter Erickson, and Reese Wilson in the pool from lanes 2 through 8. For the Cardinals in lane 3, Miles Pluger. In lane 5, Alex Schmidt. And in lane 7, Serwin White.
You saw the score, 25-5. Blaine is in the first 2 events, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a 3rd.
We're ready for the varsity meet of the 200 individual medley.
Yeah, we talk about the Blaine Bengals' big lead already, but it is purely based on depth. You saw that depth in the first individual event of the night with their top 3 and taking 4 of the top 5 spots.
Oh, no question about it.
And the top 3 all right together for the whole 200 yards. Through the first part of this event, Alex Schmidt for the Cardinals with a slight lead coming out of the butterfly and getting into the backstroke. Pushed from below by Darren Cronin. And Cronin maybe a little bit better push off of that last wall. Takes a little bit of a lead through the backstroke. And starting to open it up midway through the race.
Yeah, he's done a nice job to gain some time.
Schmidt's got some ground to make up here on the breaststroke. He's got a comfortable lead over Hunter Erickson above. Cronin, another great turn, stays underwater a long time, glides well, and maintaining that body length lead that he was able to build during the backstroke.
Yeah, you know, again, you see another nice push off, and you see the lead growing for him.
1, 2, 3, pretty comfortably separated as they get into the freestyle. Down in lane 2 is Alex Totev for Blaine, and he's currently running 4th. Up in lane 8, Reese Wilson for Blaine is running in 5th. The win will go to Cronin. Schmidt will take 2nd in 2:17.78.
Oh, nice job by Alex Smith. Nice finish for him to get the 2nd place.
Fourth place will go to Totev down at the bottom. 5th place to Reese Wilson, and the Cardinals, Serwin White and Miles Pluger will come in pretty much neck and neck, with Pluger getting a slight advantage. But that will help Blaine continue to build that lead. We'll take a break. Splash and Dash coming up next is my favorite, the 50 free, after this on CTN.
Green hat, red hat, oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt, oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants, oops.
Back to North Hill Middle School pool, just about ready to get the 50 free underway, and this is the quick one. So we'll get through your starters real quick for the Cardinals. Matthew Somsil-Sillip, Tyler Schultz, and Kevin Struess. For the Bengals, Jamil Poindexter, Alex Nielsen, Casey Fortman, and Chase Cooker, and those were from bottom to top.
And of course, Tyler Stoltz, just a 7th grader.
Both he and Matthew Struess, the 8th grader, have had phenomenal seasons.
They have.
At the turn, Alex Nielsen, a solid lead. Schultz trying to track him down, but he's going to have a battle just to hold on to 2nd place with Casey Fortman right there. And Schultz is actually going to finish 4th. Poindexter out touched him at the wall down in lane 2 to take 2nd place. And Schultz will finish in 4th.
Yeah, again, another strong finish for the Bengals.
And we'll take another break. Diving coming up next. You're watching Boys Swimming and Diving on CTN.
Hi there, I'm Officer Harmoning, and this is Crime Prevention in 60 Seconds. Today, we're going to talk about yielding to emergency vehicles. State law requires drivers to move over immediately when emergency vehicles approach. Specifically, drivers should move to the right edge or curb of the roadway and remain stopped until the emergency vehicle passes. So often, our officers have seen drivers slam on their brakes, hesitate, and/or move to the left side of the roadway when we approach with our lights activated. We've also encountered those folks that pull to the right side but drive at slower speeds on the shoulder. All these situations cause our officers to have to react quickly when driving at higher rates of speed. The following video is a good example on the appropriate action a driver should take in this situation. The marked squad car has the emergency lights activated and is approaching the vehicle. The driver sees the squad and quickly and safely pulls the vehicle to the right side of the road and stops, waiting for the squad to pass. That's it for now, and until next time, remember that together we can make a difference.
Back at Northdale Middle School Pool, just about ready to get the diving competition underway. Blaine's Nicholas Anderson first on the board. Forward dive tuck position. Blaine Bengals with 4 divers tonight. Cardinals with just 2. We are joined now, too, by Coon Rapids head coach Doug Dowson. Glad to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It actually adds a lot to our broadcast because they don't have to just listen to me. They can listen to you now that actually know what you're talking about.
You guys say that every year.
Well, it happens to be true. You would think I'd learned something by then, but apparently not.
Up next, Blaine's Logan Stiles. And a very nice forward 1.5 pike position.
Yeah,
Kept it
nice
tight.
scores, too. 2 6s and a 6.5.
He's been having a really good season so far. He's really diving well.
Well, and, you know, 4 divers for Blaine, only 2 for Coon Rapids. We'll wait for Timothy Rotter. Just 2 for Coon Rapids, and that kind of speaks to what we have already noticed those first couple of events. Very consistent and a lot of depth for this Blaine squad.
No question. There you see his dive, 2 4.5s and a 4.
103C, forward 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6.
And now for the Cardinals, Alex Findley. Didn't quite get out of the tuck, but he did make the full rotation.
Alex is a freshman. This is his first year diving for us. He's come in, showed a lot of promise early, so we're pretty excited about his prospects in the future. And yeah, Joe, you said right. If he just kicks out of that tuck,
Yeah.
He made the rotation. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
That's Chris Hess for Blaine, a front dive in the tuck position. Legs came apart a little bit at the top, but he got great spring off the board.
You know, Coach, we talk about the youth. I mean, really, there's a lot of young swimmers on both teams, but, you know, you've got some real quality young swimmers that bodes well for your program.
That's true. We do. But we also have, like, this guy, Aaron Rosso, a senior captain.
Yep.
Been around a long time. Big
Forward
contributor
1.5.
for us.
Yeah.
Yep.
A nice dive, 2 6s and a 5.5.
I think he's kind of fired up tonight. So it's our senior night tonight,
Yep.
so he's really looking forward to putting on a good show. So we'll see what he does.
Nick Anderson, forward dive, half twist.
Scores a couple of 4s and a 3.
It's not a dive you see all the time, but when done well, can look really cool.
Well, it's really hard to get twist.
The half twists are almost harder than a full twist, too.
Right. Styles the leader after round 1 and a very
nice
clean reverse dive in the tuck position.
Got a lot of height on that dive as well.
You know, that's key to the reverse, too, is to get that height, because a lot of divers are afraid of coming back to the board. So if you can get that height, you can get into that nice long line and dive in smooth, and you don't have to worry about the board.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Forward 1.5 for Timothy Rotter, and a little flat on entry, but just look at him compared to the other kids. He needs every spring that board will give him.
No question.
He's got to roll that fulcrum back a little bit more so he can get a little more bounce.
See, I told you it wasn't called the wheel thing.
The wheel thing,
The
that's
wheel
what
thing,
I
yeah.
always called it. Double somersault. You talk about a kid that's just picking it up. He got a lot of rotation, and if he's got to get more height in order to get out of that tuck. But he gets into a nice tight little ball to get that rotation.
Yeah, like I said, tucking and flipping, that's not his issue. We got to get him clean in the water.
Yep.
That's what he's working on. So.
Well, he's young. He's got time to work on that skill.
Yep.
Score is 23.10. Next diver is Chris with 103C, forward 1.5.
Chris Hess, a 1.5
1.6.
forward in the tuck position. Legs came over a little bit, but got out of it nicely, and he did have good height.
Yeah, he definitely had some nice height on that jump. You can see it there.
Forward 2 somersaults, tuck 2.2.
Not as clean in the water as he would have liked, I'm sure.
Aaron's going to go for 2 somersaults in a tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.2.
But that's the same dive that we saw from Finley, and a very similar result.
And if you watch the replay, you just see he gets forward on this. He just leans forward too much, and then that board throws him forward. He doesn't get the height that he really wanted.
Well, you could tell right away when he came out of the water, he was disappointed with that dive.
Yeah. Too much going out instead of up.
Just trying to throw that dive and, really get around and.
That was actually a really clean line for Nick Anderson. That's the
really
back
nice
dive is, to me, is always it's not as easy as you would think.
I think he should have gotten a little bit better scores there too.
Still
for that.
nice nonetheless.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, but
a couple 5.5s and a 6.
Yep.
His lines are really good. He didn't curve at all. Nope. Very good.
Inward dive in the pike position for Logan Styles.
He added a little bit of twist at the end, so we'll see. Yeah, the judges kind of. Let's see what the judges give him on the score. Let's watch at the very end. They twist right at that end.
A 5.5, a 5, and a 3.5.
Timothy with 301C, reverse dive tuck 1.6.
That's what we call a smack.
Yeah, that was. You
Came
could
up with a
definitely hear it.
smile.
Yeah. Well, divers will do that probably about 2 or 3 times every practice, if they're good divers.
Next diver is Alex with 302.
Well, and that
That was full on.
Yeah, full on smack.
Yeah.
I always get worried coming back to the board.
It's one thing you'll see with that dive is it's supposed to be in the pike position, and he doesn't quite get to the pike. So the scores are going to reflect that he's got 5 and 2 4s. But just watching on his legs here, he should really tuck a little bit tighter, and he just doesn't get that pike position. And
knees bent as well.
We've debated it if he does it straight, which is a harder dive. Could he get better scores? I don't know.
I think he was closer to straight than he was to pike.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. But he's still learning, so that's the thing. I mean, he's
Our next diver is Aaron with
really the pike is looks really good when he can do it, and it's a little bit easier to get around on that dive too. So
that was the reverse somersault in the tuck position for Chris Hess, and now Aaron Rosso.
that was a good dive on a bounce back from the previous one where he kind of miffed it a little bit.
A little too much rotation, came over the top a little bit, but solid scores, puts him right on the heels of Styles after 3 dives.
Yeah, 5.5 and 2 5s, not too bad.
Body position was good, twist was good, just a little over rotation on the somersault. Anderson a back dive with a half twist this time.
We'll see it again. He can go into in the water as straight as he'd like.
Just bends a little bit at the waist there too, yeah.
Styles continues to lead midway through. This is his hardest dive to this point. Oof.
So that will be a balk and a failed dive.
That hurts.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. And you know, besides the reverse, the inward is a really tough dive because your face is going towards the board.
No, it's mentally you have to prepare for that.
Either way, coming back to the board is a tough thing to do.
Correct.
But especially when you're leading and after 3 really nice dives. Timothy Router with the reverse somersault in the tuck position.
Next diver is Alex with number 402C. Inward one
Good rotation. He stayed in front of the board, not too much distance.
Got pretty good scores.
That was a really nice dive.
Really nice dive. And the one thing you like about Alex is he really is a fearless kid.
I was just going to say, no fear on his face at
he
all.
He goes up. I mean, from day one, he's just showed up, and whatever dive Emily Arnold, her diving coach, has asked him to do, he just goes out there and does it. And
that's great.
That's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially from a younger diver.
Yeah.
Good kick at the end by Hess.
All 5.5s.
302C, reverse one somersault tuck, 1.6.
Pretty clean entry.
Let's see if Aaron can take advantage here and get into first place.
Great height
Really
off
good
the board, very clean line.
Nice dive.
Nice and straight going in.
And so far this season, that's probably been his best dive.
2 6s and a 5.5.
He really scores well on that dive. Every time, it seems like.
Well, very, very well executed. Inward dive in the tuck position for Nick Anderson, his 5th and final dive, and he'll finish with a 105.
16.10.
Back to work, Logan. Shake it off.
Next diver is Logan with number 203C, back 1.5 somersault, tuck 2.0.
Got it. Back in the game.
Back 1.5. Didn't get quite all the way around, but a strong, solid dive to come back from that.
That was a good
fail his
rebound
last
dive.
round.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
yeah, and that's what you want. You want to shake off that bad dive the previous.
Dive tuck 1.4.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's like, you know, in high school sports, you're going to fail sometime.
Right.
You know, and so how do you respond to that? And that was a good response.
Inward dive in the tuck position for Rotter.
Score is 17.5. Next diver is Alex with 403C, inward 1.5 somersault, tuck.
And now
2.2.
Findlay, who's in 2nd place after 4 rounds.
Just doesn't quite get around on that one. Maybe just a little timid. I know we talked about being fearless, but maybe just a little timid on that one.
But he gets, again, good tight ball, good rotation. Just not quite able to finish it off.
You know, you looked at his face. It was almost like he was maybe overthinking what he wanted to do. It took him a little while to decide when he was ready to go.
Yeah, and you know, diving is kind of like golf.
Yeah.
You know, you're in your own head.
Right.
And you have to go out there and perform.
Back somersault tuck position for Chris Hess. Pretty clean on entry.
You know, that's the difficulty of diving versus swimming too. Is even though swimming is an individual sport, you're in a race most of the time with other people.
Right.
In diving, you're the only person on the board.
Individual, absolutely.
Yeah. Got to give them a lot of credit for that.
Got a little off to the side.
Yeah, didn't get a clean of entries he probably would have liked.
A little further away from the board maybe, but still 134.5 going to the final round. He's got a lead of 20 points.
Finishing with a back dive straight too, so he's really going to have to nail that one to stay in front of Logan, who finishes with a 2.2 degree of difficulty.
Little too much. He got a great bounce off the board. Yeah. Great rotation, just a little too much at the end.
Yeah, definitely the height was there, but he's not going to score what he needed to.
He just had his feet wrong a little bit on the board at the end there, and that really kind of threw him. He was leaning forward on it, trying to get around on that 2 somersaults. And you know, sometimes the boards really help you, and sometimes they really hurt you. And it's kind of fun to see that, you know, in different ways, how you're just a little bit off on the board, and then your whole dive is, you know, going wrong. But that was a nice dive by Timmy.
Back dive with a half twist. Couple of 4s and a 5 at 23.4.
He just doesn't quite get his arms in there. He's kind of doing a little fun thing with his arms. He just doesn't quite get him around into that nice entry, but very straight on that, which is good. Yeah, he'll get there. He'll get there.
He's got good body control.
Yep,
he does.
Sure.
Yep.
Back somersault with a half twist for Hess. His final dive.
He really went for it on that one. Just laid right out for it.
Finishes with a 126.
Diver is Aaron with 201A, back dive straight, 1.7.
Aaron needs 1.95 points on this dive to get first in the meet.
Wow, that was pretty.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Really nice dive. Yes.
Yeah, that was
kept the feet together. Very, very clean line. Very, very nice dive. He finishes
look at that.
with a 169.
Two 7s and a 6.5. That's incredible. That's a great way to finish it out.
So he will take first. Styles will finish second. Hess will go third. Findlay fourth. And we will take a break and get back to swimming. 100 fly coming up next on CTN.
Hi, I'm Ryan Nagasu, 2010 Olympian and bronze medal winner of the 2014 U.S. Championships. I knew I loved skating at the age of 5, and now it's become my life passion. Find your skating passion at the Coon Rapids Ice Center. Classes are available all year round. It could be the place where your skating dreams come true. See you on ice.
Back at the Northdale Middle School pool, just about ready to get back to swimming with the 100 butterfly.
Chris Hess of Blaine with 126. In second place, Logan Styles of Blaine with 136.45. And in first place is Aaron Rosso.
A nice job by Aaron Rosso to take the diving tonight.
And the Cardinals, because of the strong effort from Rosso, but also from Alex Findlay, who took third place, they actually win that event. Now for the 100 fly. For the Cardinals, we have Kyle Emmons, Matt Struess. The two Cardinals in the third and fifth lanes, respectively. For the Bengals, you have Hunter Erickson, Max Carson, Casey Fortman, and Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, we talked about Matthew Struess, you know, just an 8th grader, and is one of the strong young swimmers on the squad.
Carson with the lead at the midway point and stretching it. Struess battling along with Fortman in lanes 5 and 6 for that second place. And
Carson is a strong swimmer.
Fortman a slight lead as they hit that last turn and head for home. Struess falling off a little bit as Fortman surges in the final 25. Carson will get to the wall first, then Fortman and Struess in third. Bengals take 4th place from Jacob Wilson and 5th place from Hunter Erickson.
Now Struess able to get that third place finish.
But a good run for him, 102.23. A good time. We will take a break. Up next, 100 free. You're watching Live's Boys High School Swimming and Diving on CTN.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Root job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Back at Northdale Middle School pool, a healthy lead for the Blaine Bengals after the first 6 events. 100 free coming up next. Cardinals will be Bradley Liminen, Matthew Sumacillip, Miles Pluger, and Kevin Struess. The Bengals in the pool, Alex Nielsen, Brett Copeland, Jack Barr, and Koa Hoon. And Brett Copeland in lane 4, really the Bengals leader, and this is the first time we're seeing it. You saw it right off the blocks. A great jump by Copeland. And he's quickly out front of the pack in lane 4.
Yeah, he did get a great start, man. Look at the lead he has at this point.
Right now you got Alex Nielsen running second place down in lane 2. Up in lane 6, Jack Barr is in third for the Bengals. So the Bengals running 1, 2, 3 again.
Yeah, Copeland is getting stronger as this event goes along.
Pluger in lane 5 right now has the lead for the Cardinals, but Copeland tags up running away in 50.39 seconds, and the Bengals will finish 1, 2, 3. Nielsen in second and Barr in third. Pluger finishes fourth for the Cardinals in 1 minute 24.24 seconds.
Look at Copeland. You know, he continued to stretch his lead until the end. I mean, you look. He's got a little time. He's got a little time on the wall to relax a little bit.
And up next now the distance event, the 500 free.
The event y'all been waiting for. The one that where endurance obviously is very important.
Well, pace, it's all about pacing.
Pace and endurance.
Cardinals from bottom to top are going to be Serwin White, Alex Schmidt, and Nathan Hansen. In the odd lanes for the Bengals, Chase Keeker, Jack Bushinger, Reese Wilson, and Wyatt Brenny. Well, you really want a good start here. It's not as important as other races, obviously. And the important part is just keeping yourself within striking distance.
Well, yeah, no question about it, Joe. And as you mentioned, pace is so important in this event because it's a long swim.
Junior Alex Schmidt in lane 5 for the Cardinals has the very early lead. We haven't seen much of him yet either. And he is definitely a top performer for the Cardinals.
Yes.
But talking to Coach Donaldson a little bit between diving and getting back to swimming, you know, switched him up a little bit to save him up. You know, you've got True Team coming up just a couple days away, and he will be swimming this and the 200 free at that event.
Yeah, and you want to go into that event swimming your best and being in the best condition you possibly can be in. You know, it's always interesting that when you swim with the lead to see if you can continue to hold it in this long event. He's doing a nice job of stretching it out, but still a long way to go.
20 lengths or 10 laps. That's 6 of 10 right there as he makes the turn. But there you see the lead that he has. Pretty comfortable and continuing to grow. Running in second place is Jack Bushinger in the 4th lane. And then running third right now is all the way up top, Wyatt Brenny in lane 8.
You know, again, he's continuing to push his lead as he's doing a nice job of just keeping a steady pace as he goes along.
And the midway point, you see the lead for Alex Schmidt. Just about to start lapping people.
Yeah, it definitely has expanded as this event has gone along. He's doing just a really nice job of controlling the leads. Started with the lead, and he's not certainly not relinquishing it at all.
No, he's got almost a 25-yard lead now on second place, which is Bushinger. And Bushinger, a comfortable lead in second place. He's pretty much running all by himself. And while there is a relatively good battle for third place, there from lane 2 to lane 8, there's 5 empty spots between them. I don't know how much they know about how far that lead is. And now one breathing to the left, the other breathing to the right. They can look at each other when they're headed back down that way. But again, that's a lot of lanes to cover to see across.
Well, yeah. Again, in that situation, you're not too worried about the person in the lane next to you. You're just worried about pacing yourself, being competitive, and continuing to swim a strong race.
Yep, now it's a full length lead for Schmidt. As he and Bushinger are turning at the same time at opposite ends of the pool.
Yeah, and he's controlling that lead. You know, he's not giving any of that up. But
no, and his timer or You know, whatever you call the guy with the board at the end,
The guy
put
with
the
the board?
17 up upside down. I think in signaling to Schmidt that you're okay.
Yeah,
you've got a ginormous lead.
Yes.
And just make sure you make it the remainder of the 500 and you'll be just fine. And he is going to come in easily in first place.
Yeah, controlled this one from start to finish. And a nice race for him, a nice win for the Cardinals.
5:25.81 his winning time. Bushinger just making it the last half a length now. But this is more than a 20-second victory for Alex Schmidt. We talk about having some time to hang out and wait for the remaining competitors to shake hands with.
Yeah, he has plenty of time.
Down here in lane 2 is going to be Keeker finishing in third place. And up top, Nathan Brenny finishes fourth. Serwin White gets to the wall in 6 minutes 25.52 seconds. And with that, we will take a break. Up next, it's the 200 free relay. You're watching live boys high school swimming and diving on CTN.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Back to Northdale Middle School pool. 200 free relay upcoming between the Bengals and the Cardinals. The Bengals will have in lane 2, Coahun, Mindone, Jacob Wilson, and Matt Rotter. Cardinals in lane 3, Tim Plessel, Kyle Emmons, Kevin Struess, and Serwin White. Blaine has Alex Nielsen, Max Carson, Darren Cronin, and Brett Copeland in lane 4. Cardinals have in lane 5, Matthew Struess, Matt Samasilip, Patrick Schultz, and Alex Schmidt. Blaine has Chase Keeker, Max Gudmundsson, Alex Todev, and Hunter Erickson in lane 6. And up top for the Cardinals, Talon Miller, Ryan Breeden, Brandon Dong, and Ethan Warmack. And that lineup in lane 4 is going to be tough to compete with, and they are putting a very, very quick lead on. Alex Nielsen is well ahead of the pack, and Blaine up in lane 6. Chase Keeker is touching up in lane second place. Cardinals Matt Struess got to the wall at third, and so Samasilip has some catching up to do, trying to keep this a race at least for second place as you watch Max Carson get to the wall and get Darren Cronin in the water with a very healthy lead in lane 4.
Yeah, that team in lane 4 is their best swimmers, no question about it. And then you have Copeland finishing up that race for him.
Which we already saw the speed a couple of events earlier. Oh, that is. Did I miss someone? I missed someone somewhere. That's how fast it went.
Yep.
But yeah, that was Copeland getting to the wall in plenty of time. Bengals will take 1-2. And the Cardinals will take third place in that fifth lane. with Struess, Samasilov, Schultz, and Schmidt. We'll take a break. Up next is the 100 backstroke on CTN.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Back in Northdale Middle School pool. Up next, the 100 backstroke for the Bengals from top to bottom. Wyatt Brenny, Brett Copeland, Darren Cronin, and Logan Vagel. For the Cardinals, Tim Plessel, Matt Struess, and Kyle Emmons. Wow, look at how long Copeland stayed underwater. More than half the length before
That's his key.
popping up in lane 6.
He's able to glide through that
And he
water.
has the lead. Yeah, well, he only takes about 4 strokes and then is able to go into his turn. Darren Cronin not far off his pace, though, as they reach the midway point of the race and actually overtaking him a little bit at the turn. Both are starting to pull a little bit away from Matt Struess, the Cardinal 8th grader in lane 5. And Struess's 3rd place is going to be challenged a bit from Logan Vagel down at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, Copeland has lost that lead that he had early on.
Well, and Cronin in 4th place had a little, should theoretically be the faster of the swimmers, and he is. He gets to the wall in 1st. Here's the race for 3rd, and it's going to be Vagel tapping up just ahead of Struess, who finishes in 109.22. We will take a break, and we will come back to the pool one last time. The 100 breast and 400 free relay coming up next on CTN.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Back at Northdale Middle School pool. 100 breaststroke coming up for the Bengals. From the top of your screen down, Matt Rotter, Jameel Poindexter, Max Carson, and Jacob Wilson. For the Cardinals, from top to bottom, Patrick Schultz, Tyler Schultz, and Brandon Wilson. So lanes 2 and 3, you got a battle of the Wilsons.
Yeah. Which Wilson gets the best of the other one?
A good lead early on for Max Carson in lane 4.
Carson jumped out to an early lead right away. And we'll see if he holds on to this.
And notice Poindexter not wearing a cap.
Well, there have been a number of have not worn a cap.
He's got longer hair.
Yep.
But not affecting him as he's had a nice night, and he's threatening Schultz for that 2nd place position as Carson is stretching the lead going to the final turn. But Schultz, hard to say enough about a kid who has swam as well as he has all season
Yes,
long.
without a question.
And just a 7th grader. And we saw it, we've been calling the family name all year long because his sister had an outstanding year as an 8th grader in the fall. Carson will get to the wall first. Schultz will get there in second place. Time of 1:10.75.
A nice win for Schultz. Get that second place finish.
Poindexter tags third. Wilson is fourth in lane 2. Fifth place is Patrick Schultz, and the Cardinals, Brandon Wilson is the final man to the wall in that event. And that'll take us to our finale, the 400 free relay. And Blaine established dominance early in the lineup, using their depth to build a big lead that was insurmountable.
Yes, they really did.
Before we got very far into this contest.
A few of these swimmers who just swam that last event will swim the final one as well.
So look at your score as it stands now. 102 to 64. Look at your lineups for the Bengals: Bushinger, Keeker, Poindexter, and Brenny in lane 2. Hunter Erickson, Jack Barr, Alex Nielsen, and Brett Copeland in lane 4. Vagel, Gudmundsson, Wilson, and Fortman in lane 6, and in lane 8, Mindone, Robert Navarrete, Ilya Zhadan, and Alex. I'm not even going to attempt to say your name. Zaya Sunathon?
Yeah.
That's close as I'm going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a shot in the dark. Gets a guess for that.
I feel better when they're yelling quiet at themselves.
And not to
Wasn't
you.
us.
Usually it is us.
It usually is us. Even when we use our golf tones. All right, now back to big boy voices. In lane 3 for the Cardinals, Serwin White in the water. He'll be followed by Bradley Liminen, Brandon Wilson, and Nathan Hansen. Alex Schmidt, Miles Pluger, Tyler Schultz, and Patrick Schultz make up the team in lane 5. Samuel Uribe, Ian Mooney, Ryan Breeden, and Joe Pluger are the 4 swimmers for the Cardinals in lane 7.
Well, Carwin White had a little trouble with his goggles and actually had to stop a little bit.
Alex Schmidt giving the Cardinals a lead, at least through most of his turn in the water. He'll make his final turn and come home with both Hunter Erickson and Logan Vagel just on his heels. Most notably is Vagel up in lane 6. And here's the challenge. You talk about the depth that Blaine possesses, is even putting that one relay together where you have enough depth to hold off the 2 powerful relays on either side of you.
That's a challenge, no question about it.
And both Jack Barr and Max Gudmundsson closing that gap on Pluger a little bit.
Yeah,
and have caught him as they reach the midway point of this second leg. And it's Barr in lane 4 that will be first into his turn for the final time heading home. And they've still got Copeland at the end of that.
They do. And we've seen what a strong swimmer he is.
So 1-2 go the Bengals in lanes 4 and 6. It's Alex Nielsen in the lead with Reese Wilson right behind Tyler Schultz. is in the middle for Coon Rapids, trying to cut back into that lead and give Patrick Schultz an opportunity to try and challenge in the final 100. And Schultz has tracked down Reese Wilson in lane 6. But a ways out in front is Alex Nielsen in lane 4. And again, he's got Copeland anchoring that team. Nice run for Schultz, though.
Yeah, he was able to, he's swimming a nice race, no question.
And both he and Struess, some of their fastest times have been splits in their relays, in both 50 and 100 free. They can only use it to qualify as a fast time if it was the first leg of the race. But there have been a number of times that they've posted really fast times leading off relays, and that's good news.
Absolutely. Always good to see.
So a huge lead for Copeland as he heads down for the last time. A good battle, though, between Patrick Schultz and Casey Fortman
they're right
for
with
that
each
third
other.
spot. Schultz just a little bit of an edge for Coon Rapids. See Copeland make his final turn, and there's your second place race just behind him. Copeland's going to win it running away.
Yeah, easily.
But a very good race happening as we come down to the final length. And Fortman, a good push off his final turn, is taking a bit of a lead on Schultz. Schultz, can he close it in the final 5? He will not be able to. Fortman able to get to the wall second in a time of 3:50.10. Coon Rapids just 0.57 seconds behind him in third place.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Fortman because he did a nice job of closing that and taking that lead over. Able to get that second place finish.
And a number of 1, 2, 3 finishes for the Blaine Bengals in this one, especially early on after the first 4 events. They had built a lead of 36 points and just no chance for the Cardinals to kind of compete on that level as a team, but some very good individual efforts. Aaron Rosso for sure taking first place on the diving board for the Coon Rapids Cardinals. I think Schultz may have had the only other first place finish.
I think you're correct.
For Coon Rapids.
Well, we knew coming in, Joe, that Blaine was a good swim team, and it was going to be tough for the Cardinals. And again, just getting those little victories, improving on your times, that nice win by Rosso, as we talked about, and those are things, some of the good things that you take away from this.
Here's the look at what we have coming up for you here on CTN. It's boys basketball on Tuesday as the Cardinals host Totino Grace. Get to see the boys hockey team in action next Saturday. Matinee affair over at the Crick as they host Armstrong Cooper, a team they tied with just a week or 2 ago. And then girls basketball on the 31st. Cardinals taking on a very, very good and highly ranked Elk River squad.
You thought Centennial was good.
On January 31st. I think Elk River last I looked, 3rd place.
In the polls, second.
Second. They're up to second.
Yep.
They're
Centennial
okay.
was 7th.
And Centennial was 7th. They're okay.
They're not bad.
They might ask we stop coming and picking the schedule based on whatever criterion we've been using.
Flip a coin. Throw a dart.
But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. The final score from the middle school pool. Blaine 102, Coon Rapids 73. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. A very special thanks to Coach Doug Donaldson for not only continuing to supply us with great information and statistics each week, but for joining us during the diving segment of our broadcast. As always, for Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young saying goodnight.